Hello and welcome to News Affairs. A neighbor, most populous nation, dynamic, powerful, and gunning to be a superpower. That's what describes the world's fastest growing economy. Ancient China was one of the most amazing civilizations in history. In the 5th century BCE, it was made up of several rival kingdoms. These were conquered by the king of the state of Qin, who became the first emperor in 221 BCE. Qin Shi Huang was born on 18th February in 259 BC. Famed for his army of terracotta warriors built to protect him for eternity, the emperor is also one of the most controversial figures in history. The Chinese people became unified as one kingdom, which lasted for about 2000 years. The empire was sometimes referred to as Great King, but increasingly as Zhongho. Dulumbai Gurun is the Manchun name for China, with Dulumbai meaning central or middle and Gurun meaning nation or state. The official name of the modern state is the People's Republic of China. Friends, before we proceed further, we request you to subscribe this channel for more such informative videos. The name China comes from the Sanskrit word Sina, which was derived from the name of the Qin dynasty. The Chinese Empire was one of the most enduring empires on earth. During its long history, some 13 major dynasties rose and fell as China was ruled by a different family of descendants in each dynasty period. In modern times, in most cases, the surrounding countryside and small towns had come under communist influence long before the cities. Finally, on October 1st, 1949, communists led by Mao Zedong founded the People's Republic of China. Power is concentrated in the paramount leader, an informal title currently occupied by Xi Jinping, who heads the four most important political and state offices. He is the General Secretary of the CCP Central Committee, Chairman of the Central Military Commission, and President of the PRC. Beijing is the capital of the People's Republic of China and one of the most populous cities in the world. While initially founded as a socialist state with a centrally planned economy, it now has a mixed economy described by its government as socialism with Chinese characteristics. China has enjoyed almost 30 boom years with GDP growing in double digits, raising 500 million people out of poverty. Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are considered the three pillars of ancient Chinese society. As philosophies and religion, they not only influenced spirituality but also government, science, the arts, and social structure. China remains the longest continuous civilization in the world for two reasons: self-sufficiency and relative isolation until the 19th century. The politics of the People's Republic of China takes place in a framework of a unitary Marxist-Leninist one-party socialist state under the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party seeks total control over the people's lives. This means economic control, it means political control, it means physical control, and perhaps most importantly, it means thought control. The 12 values of China's political system, written in 24 Chinese characters, are the national values of prosperity, democracy, civility, and harmony, the social values of freedom, equality, justice, and the rule of law, and the individual values of patriotism, dedication, integrity, and friendship. Under communism, individuals are merely a means to be used towards the achievement of the ends of the collective nation state. Thus, individuals can be easily sacrificed for the nation state's goals. Individuals do not have inherent value under Marxism-Leninism. They exist to serve the state. The state does not exist to serve them. These ideas sound remote and outdated to us. They are, after all, old ideas. They were born a century and a half ago in Europe. They were implemented a century ago by Russia, and then discarded 30 years ago as the most costly failed political experiment in the history of mankind. But in China, these ideas remain as fundamental to the Chinese Communist Party as the Constitution and Bill of Rights to the Americans. In classical Chinese statecraft, there are two tools for gaining and maintaining control over the mountains and the rivers. The first is weapons and violence, and the second is language and culture. Chinese leaders have always believed that power derives from controlling both the physical battlefield and the cultural domain. For Lenin, Stalin, Mao, and Xi, words are not vehicles of reason and persuasion. They are bullets. Words are for defining, isolating, and destroying opponents. Propaganda plays a central political role for the CCP. Beijing's efforts to dominate political thoughts are stated openly and pursued aggressively. In 1989, the party began organizing itself around ideological security, a term repeated frequently since then by CCP leaders. More recently, in April 2013, the party issued a policy on what they call the current state of ideology. It held that there should be absolutely no opportunity or outlets for incorrect thinking or viewpoints to spread. So, within China, this approach means mandatory study sessions on communist ideology and the required downloads and use of smartphone apps that teach so-called Xi Jinping thought. It means complete control of all state media. Outside sources of information are banned, from foreign newspapers to Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp. All content generated within China is censored. It means jailing everyone from citizen bloggers, reporters, and lawyers to activists and religious believers for expressing any views contrary to the party line. And indeed, just recently, between January 1st and April 4th of this year, nearly 500 individuals were charged with crimes just for speaking out about the Wuhan coronavirus, its effects upon the party, and the party's cover-up of the disease. The Chinese Communist Party reinterprets religious texts, including the Bible, to support Communist Party ideology. It locks up millions of Muslim Uyghurs and other minorities in re-education camps where they are subjected to political indoctrination and forced labor, while their children are raised in party-run orphanages. This process annihilates family, religion, culture, language, and heritage of the people who are caught up in these camps. Under the Chinese Communist Party, information is tightly controlled and expression is constantly surveilled so that it can be quashed or shaped by the state. Geopolitics usually refers to countries and relations between them. It may also focus on two other kinds of states: de facto independent states with limited international recognition, and relations between subnational geopolitical entities, such as the federated states that make up a federation, confederation, or a quasi-federal system. A major feature of the People's Republic of China's geopolitics is attempting to change the laws of the sea to advance claims in the South China Sea. Another geopolitical issue is China's claims over Taiwan, amounting to a geopolitical rivalry between the two independent states. Various analysts state that China created the Belt and Road Initiative as a geostrategic effort to take a larger role in global affairs and undermine what the Communist Party perceives as a hegemony of liberalism. It has also been argued that China co-founded the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and New Development Bank to compete with the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund in development finance. According to OBOR law, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has been advertised as a political organization of a new type, claimed to transcend geopolitics. Political scientist Tak Nong Wong says that a major form of geopolitics between the United States and China includes cybersecurity competition, policy regulations regarding technology standards, and social media platforms, and traditional and non-traditional forms of espionage. China's Belt and Road Initiative, also known as One Belt, One Road, is one of President Xi's most ambitious foreign and economic policies. It aims to strengthen Beijing's economic leadership through a vast program of infrastructure building throughout China's neighboring regions. Many foreign policy analysts view this initiative largely through a geopolitical lens, seeing it as Beijing's attempt to gain political leverage over its neighbors. There is no doubt that is part of Beijing's strategic calculation. However, this analysis argues that some of the key drivers behind One Belt, One Road are largely motivated by China's pressing economic concerns. China's deflation has been a cause of concern.
Today, there is more bad news from China. The Chinese economy has slipped into deflation. What does that mean?
One of the overriding objectives of One Belt, One Road is to address China's deepening regional disparity as the country's economy modernizes. Beijing hopes its transitional infrastructure building program will spur growth in China's underdeveloped hinterland and Rust Belt. The initiative will have a heavy domestic focus. The Chinese government also wants to use One Belt, One Road as a platform to address the country's chronic excess capacity. It is more about migrating surplus factories than dumping excess products. One of the least understood aspects of One Belt, One Road is Beijing's desire to use this initiative to export China's technological and engineering standards. Chinese policymakers see it as crucial to upgrading the country's industry. Chinese bankers will likely play a key role in determining the success of One Belt, One Road initiative. Though they have expressed their public support for President Xi's grand vision, some have urged caution both publicly and in private. Their appetite to fund projects and ability to handle the complex investment environment beyond China's borders will shape the speed and scale of One Belt, One Road initiative. There is a general recognition that this initiative will be a decade-long undertaking, and many are treading carefully. There has been a shift in the geopolitics. The new concept of Indo-Pacific has entered the geopolitical discourse by displacing the term Asia-Pacific. The Indo-Pacific refers to a contiguous zone encompassing the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. The geographical boundaries of the Indo-Pacific stretch from East Africa to the west coast of the United States and encompass a large number of countries at varying stages of development with distinct policy agendas and divergent interests. In recent times, the concept of Indo-Pacific has evolved and has become the primary space for geostrategic consternation. Strategically, two broad reasons explain the rise of Indo-Pacific. The first reason is attributed to the increasing footprint of China in the region. The second is the comparative decline of the United States alliance system and strives for resurgence. China is increasing its footprint in the region in multiple forms. They have shown aggressive postures in the South China Sea, building ports across Indian Ocean region and connectivity project in the name of Belt and Road Initiative. Growing Chinese influence in the region is also marked by the relative decline of the United States. Eventually, India, the United States, Australia, Japan, France, Asian countries, South Korea and European Union have adopted the Indo-Pacific concept. All these countries have published white paper on Indo-Pacific and are projecting it as a policy symbol of regional engagement. While China has not endorsed the concept and the term Indo-Pacific, it has appreciated the ASEAN's outlook on the Indo-Pacific. As a pivotal region, the Indo-Pacific has become a new power center for global geopolitics. China is aggressively working on strengthening win-win cooperation and interconnectivity within the region. It may be noted that the essence of this analysis of the Indo-Pacific strategy is that China's main concern is preventing this geopolitical concept from becoming a converging point for neighboring states and the entire region to form a platform against China. We hope that this video enhances your understanding on the changing global environment on various parameters. If you have liked the video, please do share, comment and subscribe the channel for more such updates. Jai Hind.